There's a potential problem hiding within your retirement plan, and almost everyone watching will deal with this at some point in your financial life. For Tom and Renee, they have $1.85 million saved for their retirement, and pension and Social Security checks cover all of their lifestyle and then some. But now it's required minimum distribution time, and they have another $65,000 coming in annually that they really just don't need. Is that money good news for them, or will it cause more problems as they continue? Hey guys, welcome back. It's Rise in Retirement. I'm Jet. He's Taco, and we're talking about Tom and Renee today.
This is a fun one.
Yeah, Tom and Renee have done awesome. Got $1.85 million saved. Pensions and Social Security's cover their lifestyle. They're spending. They're happy. They're doing everything they want to do. And now they've hit that age. We know it as RMD, or required minimum distribution. It's going to be something that happens for almost everyone that is watching this.
Yeah.
And it should be a good thing, you know, in terms of you got more money that is coming in. You have to pull this distribution out. And for someone like Tom and Renee, who have all of their expenses covered by Social Security and pension, they don't need to take distributions from their portfolio to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Pretty nice, right? Sounds good?
Yeah.
When you all wish you were in that situation.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they've got to take an additional 65 grand out.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, oh gosh, what a problem to have.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. They got another 65 grand they got to pull out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop for a second. We want to talk about some of the problems that this can cause.
Yeah.
And it's not problems per se, but it's
Efficiency.
frustrations, efficiency. You know, there are things that can get a little wacky here.
Yeah.
For Tom and Renee.
Yeah. I think that's the key here is today's topic is not that Tom and Renee are in horrible shape.
No, green light.
There's no red light.
Give it to you now. It's a green light.
But could they have been more efficient with their planning? And is there still some other things they can do? We know it's a good problem to have, that they have extra money to go spend, right? So bear with us on this one, right? This is strategy. This is stuff that we see, like Jet said,
Hidden dangers
all
here.
the time, and many clients that we work with have the same problem because you're kind of accustomed to, hey, save, defer. You know, that's what your CPA, you know, a lot of times is telling you, well, you don't need to take any money out of it, so don't cause any tax issues. Well, that's where they're at. They're at the stage where, guess what? IRS says you have to take it now. The problem is taxes.
Before we get into the case setup, do me a favor. I know most of you watching are not subscribed to the channel. So stop right now, hit that subscribe button so that you can see all of our videos that we post each and every week. Let's jump into Tom and Renee.
Yeah, I'll go through the official numbers. You've mentioned it for the most part here, but Tom's 73. So Tom is at required minimum distribution age. For many of you watching, you know, those dates and ages have changed a lot over the years, 70 and a half to 72 to 73. Some of you, if you're born 1960 and beyond, it's 75. For this, Tom is 73. He's at that age. Renee is 72. She's approaching it. She'll be getting there pretty close. They've got $1.85 million saved, with $1,640,000 of that being in IRAs. That's the money that's causing the required minimum distribution. $140,000 in Roth, $70,000 in brokerage accounts. $10,000 monthly income goal. That's what they're spending. That's what does all the fun stuff that they like to do.
Before you judge that, let's imagine for a second that Tom and Renee really enjoy their free time.
Yeah.
And they've afforded themselves that right, because what you're about to go over will help you understand why they can spend that kind of money every month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, income sources, $4,300 coming in from Social Security and over almost $8,000 from pensions.
Per month.
Yeah. So their withdrawal need is zero. They have a surplus. They've actually got $2,300 of disposable income coming in every year that they're basically just plugging away or, you know, doing whatever with it at that point. So the RMD impact, what they're going to be required to take is, again, about $65,000 a year added to the existing income that they already have.
A quick caveat to this too. We're talking gross to gross numbers just to keep it simple here, right? So, you know, that's $2,300 a month in gross before tax figures. $10,000 monthly income goal. That's gross. That includes taxes that they would have to pay on distributions. So they've just made it all pre-tax as far as the numbers are concerned.
Yeah. So planning challenges, and again, these are challenges that they have because of the required minimum distribution, the extra money that's coming in here. And so I'll start with the first one, Jet, and it's IRMA. It's a Medicare.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's a Medicare premium surcharge. So, Medicare is looking back 2 years at your income, and there's certain brackets that if you go above that bracket, if you're a married filing jointly, for example,
like Tom and Renee,
it's about, I think it's 206 to 212,000. If you go beyond that, all of a sudden your Medicare premiums are going up. There's a surcharge. So in this case, that extra RMD income is going to push them into the first bracket. So when we look at the pension income, the Social Security income, and now these IRA distributions that have to take place, they are in that threshold where their Medicare premiums, each of them, are going up by about $75 a month, plus their Part D for prescriptions going up by about $13, $14 a month. All of a sudden, we're looking at $2,100 and call it an extra tax, basically, that they're paying every single year indefinitely at this point because of those RMDs and the income.
I'll go over the next planning challenge. It's kind of along the same line. We're talking about tax brackets now.
Yep.
So if you look at their income that the income that would show up as ordinary income on their tax return prior to the RMDs, just the Social Security income and the pension income, they're in one bracket. Now this additional $65,000 of income that they're forced to pull out of their qualified retirement accounts, that also shows up as ordinary income. So you got $65,000 more per year showing up on your on your tax return as ordinary income. And now we're looking at, hey, we're up against the next higher tax bracket, meaning any additional income that we would see hit the tax return is going to be taxed at that higher number.
Yep.
Effective marginal rate's going to go up because of all of this. So they've got more taxable income and a little bit less flexibility in the later years due to this.
Yeah. Last one, and this is more, what do you do with the money now? It's
again,
boo-hoo, but like, hey, at the end of the day, how do we become efficient with this money? We have extra money coming in. Do we spend it? Do we go do other things? So it's more the uncertainty of, what do I do with this money now coming in?
Do I have to take this out? I get that question all the time.
All the time.
Jared, do I really have to take this out? Taco, do you ever have someone tell you that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is there any way we can not have to take this out? Well, you should have planned a little bit more proactively. There were some things you probably could have done, but it's too late now.
Exactly. So for many people, and we see this a lot, is that an RMD, a required minimum distribution, can kind of feel like a bonus check. For many, though, it can become a burden, and it's more of a tax burden more than anything. So it can compound to other tax problems, as we mentioned, IRMA and tax brackets and all these different things. So what I would recommend that an individual does here, Jet, is if you're in a situation where there's IRA money piling up and it's inevitable that you're not going to spend these dollars or that you're going to run into the same situation, get a second opinion, get a tax analysis, get an RMD analysis to see what that impact will be. If you head over to riseandretirement.com after today's video, we have an opportunity on there to schedule a 30-minute free consultation with a member of our advisory team where we can begin to lay out that path, do an RMD analysis for you so that you can better plan heading into that age 73 and 72, like Tom and Renee, where it's not blindsiding you at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's a tax guide on riseandretirement.com that talks about the one big beautiful bill, some additional tax savings credits and things that you might have some questions about that, but ultimately riseandretirement.com, get more information there, schedule your call today. Let's talk about some strategies that Tom and Renee could look at.
Yeah. And before we go to the actual strategies, I want to say too, like, some of these are strategies that Tom and Renee can do, but remember, there's strategies that Tom and Renee could have done years and years back as well, right?
Well, that's you speaking to anyone that's watching
Right.
who's not at required minimum distribution age. You could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years away from this, but be foreshadowing going, ooh, this could become a problem. I could see how this could become a problem for me.
So there's strategy like this first one that I'm going to go over that you can do now, right? You can do while we're taking the required minimum distributions, and that's called QCDs, Jet. It's qualified charitable distributions. It's an opportunity, and you can actually do this at age 70 and a half. Kind of weird how all the code and all that good stuff, but they left this in place based on at 70 and a half, you can take money from your pre-tax account, your IRA, and shift it straight to a charity. So if you're a charitable type of person and you're giving money already, you would be crazy to be giving it from post-tax money or from savings accounts or anything like that if you have pre-tax money, because you can take that money right from the IRA to that charity. It counts towards your required minimum distribution, and it comes out tax-free. You're not paying the taxes on it. The charity's not paying the taxes on it. Great way to be able to get money out of your IRA tax-free while also satisfying the IRS. So that's strategy number one that Tom and Renee could be looking at is if they're charitable givers, I don't care what amount, you should be given some of it this way.
Yeah, I love it. Another strategy, and this is, you just mentioned this before, probably should have been something that Tom and Renee considered 5 years before required minimum distribution age, maybe 10 years before, sooner even. And it's Roth conversions, and you've heard it, IRA to Roth IRA conversion. Does it make sense? Should we convert money from IRA to Roth and pay the tax now so that we don't have to pay it later? And there's pros and cons, and there's arguments all over the place. But if not Tom and Renee specifically, this is a major lever for others that are in a similar position.
Yeah, for sure. And even it's like I just did the math here. I had to make sure the math's here. But for example, we said they have Social Security income and pension income. They've been collecting that for the last 7 years roughly or so since they've been retired. That income has them in that 140-ish thousand range. There could have been some proactive tax planning where they're doing Roth conversions every year up to that IRMA bracket, but not going into the IRMA bracket, paying taxes on it now, getting it working for them tax-free. So maybe a little harder to do now because you have to take your RMD first before you can do the Roth conversion, but certainly a strategy they could have been doing prior.
Well, and I'll add to that too. It's not just a beneficial strategy for Tom and Renee as it relates to their required minimum distribution calculation, but also for their family, for inheritance, because would you rather leave taxable dollars to your family or would you rather leave tax-free dollars to your family?
Yep. Yep. And which kind of goes with the last one then is they can do legacy planning with this surplus. I mentioned a planning challenge was, what do you do with the money? Well, there's 3 things that we always tell people, Jet. You can spend it, go find a way to go spend more money. I know it's hard, right? But we can do that. You can save it, which is ultimately reinvest it. You can pay the taxes on the money and just keep popping it into, a brokerage account, or you can leverage it. And what I mean by leveraging is, maybe it's building out a life insurance plan to be able to leave as much tax-free money as possible to maybe it's your kids, maybe it's even the next generation, the grandkids. So there's some strategies there from a legacy planning that you could use that money now to fund something like that.
Yeah, we mentioned they're a green light. This is one of those, man, what a good problem to have type of scenario. We realize that. You guys understand that. But ultimately, they could have done some things that would have helped them avoid some unnecessary tax, that would have kept more money in the portfolio longer over time, more not just for them, but for their family. And I think that's why we chose to bring this up. A lot of you guys have RMD scenarios. You might find yourself in a position where, hey, I don't know what to do with this money, or hey, how can I limit how much they're going to make me take out if I plan proactively for it? So green light, and I'll just start by saying, the core plan is more than funded.
Yeah.
They were in a surplus situation to begin with before they ever had to take a withdrawal. So in a perfect scenario, they wish they would have had dollars that they never had to take a withdrawal from. but that's just not the case.
Yep.
And for most of you, it's not going to be the case. You're saving in pre-tax retirement plans.
Yeah.
That was the way that it was built.
Yeah.
So
the key is making sure that you have a plan that allows you to pass on money when it's inevitable like this, that you can't spend it all. It's going to pass, whether it's, again, to your kids or your grandchildren, to do it in the most tax efficient way as possible. Why give more to the IRS? Why pay more in Medicare premiums because you didn't plan on it? All these different things can come into play. So, not doing proper tax planning on an IRA can kind of reshape your entire plan if it's not thought through.
Yeah. And while, most advisors are not qualified to give legitimate tax advice, you should have someone, if you're paying for guidance, if you're paying for a financial advisor relationship, they should be helping you think about this kind of thing. So I encourage you, go to riseandretirement.com, schedule a 30-minute call, talk to someone on our advisory team. We'd love to strategize, your situation, help you come up with some strategy to get in and around this RMD predicament that you might find yourself in.